tales can come true. They can happen to you.
Welcome to the volume. It's where the magic happens.
Yes.
This was my home for the better part of a year. We shot all of The Mandalorian.
We're creating a living room in the midst of this.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting enough.
That's it.
Oh, look at that.
That's a monster.
giant. It's bigger than...
That's monstrous.
That's
Is it new?
amazing.
Actually, we put this out a few years ago just for collectors.
Wow.
It's
A
the
Tarzan-
problem with it is it could crush somebody. But it's got these amazing images.
Yeah. No.
And you know,
How many copies you made of this?
it was very few. It was quite expensive.
A few thousand.
And try to lift it. It's a good way to build your body up some.
So literally in Sweden, it would be the
50
Swedish
pounds.
flag. In Japan, it would be the Japanese flag.
Fantastic.
And they all get signed, or?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is exciting, yeah? You know, this is the culmination of 50 years for us. And, you know, for me, what's amazing is I don't think anybody has done what you've done in terms of fusing reality and a created reality to, you know, play with people's perception of what's real and what's not real. I think that's what brought us to you. I think we've transcended over the years being human beings, and you know, here we are becoming immortal. So it couldn't be more exciting for us.
As a fan and as part of the audience, to me, it always felt like it was more than just a concert. It was just more than the characters, but it felt like a whole experience where I was in the Kiss world. And I wanted that to last, but
Kiss World.
Yeah.
That's in Las Vegas, our museum.
I think that the omnipotence of what we do has been enhanced and almost validated by the makeup, because somebody coming to see us 40 years on, 50 years on goes, my God, they haven't changed.
Yeah.
That's not always easy. And that's perhaps why we're reaching a point where people are going, well, why stop? Why stop? Well, because we can't maintain this indefinitely, but you can.
Yeah, right.
No, I think being at your concerts and see the audience, how it spans from very, very young kids to,
It spans the ages, and very few things do that.
Yeah.
That defy
Yeah.
generational things where kids can love it, grown-ups, and even granddad can love
Yes.
it. And if you know nothing about Kiss, it's going to be the best concert you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, because the music is only part of it. Our music is maybe the calling card, but there are people who don't like the music but love the band, love what the band stands for. The whole sense that we're about self-empowerment. The idea that if you believe in something and work hard, we're the proof that hard work can make you achieve the impossible. To see our audience at the concerts and to see 3 generations, and you see people at our shows holding up their children, almost like the Lion King. You know, there's a rite of passage and a joy. This is what I experienced. Now you get to experience it. So it's tribal, and it goes far beyond what rock bands do. It transcends that because, you know, you have rock bands and you have people pumping their fists and scowling. Our shows are about joy. Our shows are about we're all in this together.
your energy, you're together with your guys, you're doing it better than ever. It's amazing to see how you energize the audience through those 90 minutes that you play. You know, what's your...
Well, I think it's fair to say that you can do what you do, almost any band, but you live by the energy that comes back from the audience. You know, band and fans have that shared energy, and then they push us, we push them, and you get that almost like electric church. All hail rock and roll.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting because here we are on the end of the road tour, the farewell, and I dare say that a lot of other bands doing the same thing will not have an audience with tears in their eyes. There's a real sense of loss because of the connection that we have with our audience, and it's so gratifying to see how much it means to other people. It makes us work that much harder. We want to go out on top with people talking about it in mythical, legendary terms. You should have seen this. That's what brought us to you, is that sense that we can live on eternally and in different ways. What we're looking to do is diversify and find our way into different parts of culture around the world.
There are other people that have asked us to dance a few times, but what Pop House is doing is breaking rules. And you guys are our secret fountain of youth. We can be forever young and forever iconic by taking us in places we've never dreamed of before. The technology is going to make Paul jump higher than he's ever done before. You're looking forward to that.
And it won't hurt.
For the first time.
In some ways, this is sad because all great things have to come to an end. But the future is so exciting. And if you think you're going to get rid of us, I'm afraid that's not going to happen.
Good.
And you guys are going to be our wings that are going to take us in places we've never been to before. Is he allowed to talk?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and we don't want to do it without you guys. We can't do it without you guys. This is a natural kind of creative step. Like, you guys have been on this journey heading in this direction from kind of the beginning. You know, you're incredibly inventive and clearly not shy about trying out new things and kind of pushing boundaries. So now that there are new technologies that we can use to kind of make an immersive experience, I feel like working, kind of collaborating with you, we're going to come up with something really special.
You guys never settled for, okay, we're happy with what we have today. You didn't just break the rules, you invented the rules. You kept reinventing the rules. Every time there was some new technology, some new things to do, looking back, I'm like, oh my God, through the years, you kept not only reinventing yourself, the music, but you leveraged everything out there to try to be ahead of everyone. And that's why it's going to make a great show for us, right? It's a perfect platform.
Well, we didn't have to sell ourselves to you because you're of the same mind. You know, we've broken rules sometimes by aligning ourselves with people where people would go, why did you get that person? Our first manager, who was brilliant, and really the fifth member of the band, never managed a band before, but he was the right person. And this team, it's such a natural for us to be able to sit back because life is finite. You realize that you're getting closer to the end of it. People say, well, what are you going to do when you stop? Well, the band will never stop because we don't own the band. The fans own the band. The world owns the band. What we've accomplished has been amazing, but it's not enough. The band deserves to live on because the band is bigger than we are. Everybody knows those faces. They may not know the names of who's behind the face. And there's a beauty to say that these iconic images have outlived and overshadowed us as people.
People look at the business and the thing, and you guys are smart, and there's merchandising and all that. We didn't know anything. All we were operating on is emotion. It's kind of insane to the amount of belief we had in this thing. Tell you how insane we were. We had a record contract. There was a group called Wicked Lester with 5 guys in it. We recorded the album at Electric Lady, and Epic Records bought it. And we looked at each other and went, this isn't right. We knew we belonged together, although he hated me when we first met. Oh, boy.
I still have days.
Hopefully that's gone. No, I was delusional. So we tried to fire the other 3 guys, and they said, we're not leaving. We're part of the record contract, and we're sticking by it. So we said, okay, then we're quitting the band because it wasn't right. I don't know how we knew. We'd record, come out of there. It was morning. People were exhausted.
We would do it.
Is that the music you want to make? That's, by the way, that was one of the songs. It ain't Led Zeppelin. It's not good, is it? We're going, no, it's not. And we got to start again. It's not right, even though we had a record deal.
And it wasn't intellectualized. It wasn't us going, well, if we do this. No, we have to do this. It's in our blood. It's in our soul. We have to be Kiss. Once we knew we weren't Wicked Lester, we knew we were Kiss. And every song we wrote was a Kiss song. There was no more, this sounds a little like this band, this sounds a little like this band. We had a template, a blueprint. This is what we want to do. and every song we wrote wound up on the first album. Interestingly, what I have here is, this has maybe been seen 3 times in 50 years. In the beginning, we made our own t-shirts. I made t-shirts for the band, and I would take a black t-shirt, I made a stencil of the KISS logo, I'd put rubber cement on it, and then glitter. And there's photos of me wearing this shirt on stage. And it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa.
That is cool.
That's amazing.
I have photos of you with that on.
So that's
Beautiful.
that's rubber cement and a cutout stencil, and then throwing glitter on it.
Did you create the logo?
Ace created the logo, the whole idea of what you see. What ultimately wound up on everything to this day, including that, is actually mine. I did that freehand on a coffee table in my parents' house on a piece of white, what we called oak tag. It was for a poster for the band playing around New York. And I did it freehand without measuring. So to this day, if you look, the 2 S's are not parallel.
They don't match.
They don't match. This one's wider.
Oh, yeah,
that goes
yeah.
more that way. And when we got our recording deal, they said, "Would you like us to redraft this?" And I said, "Got us this far." so to this day, that is what I did in my parents' living room with a rapidograph back then, before Sharpies, and a ruler. And if you see the logo, if I see it and it's not right, I see it immediately
In milliseconds,
because
yeah.
it's not perfect. Neither are
Sometimes
we.
There's beauty in imperfection,
Yeah,
right?
Total.
Speaking of logos, we actually did mock up something because we have total control over these walls. So if we want to, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
that's
look
the
at
original.
yeah, look at the S's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You notice the middle S is sort of more extremely to the left.
Yeah, to the
Anyway,
right.
you can see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bottom is wider.
And the top of the S in the middle one is
Wider.
more to the
Yeah.
right, and the
Yeah.
top one, the very last one, is a little straighter up.
Never-
I wanted
never
something
thought
that
about
reminded you of Ford or Coca-Cola, something that was really going to be iconic, almost something you would see on the side of a car. And it worked. And it's so interesting because when you see somebody redraft it and make the S's perfect, it doesn't look right.
No.
It doesn't look right. Somehow it balanced out the way it is.
You weren't supposed to think of the business. Nobody thought of trademarks, and you see there's an R at the top. That's registered.
As is our makeup.
Our own, everybody in the band, the original 4 guys, designed their own makeup.
Was the makeup something you thought is, we're going to start with the makeup, we're going to do this, and we're going to keep it on? Or was it just for a few shows to try it? Or
Oh,
you
no,
knew you were going to just...
It just happened. We one day decided, hey, let's go buy some clown makeup, and we bought mirrors. It was $15. And we put the mirrors against the wall, and every guy was next to each other starting to put on what almost like there was some kind of grand design. We were putting on the makeup ourselves and getting off. You know, it just happened. And maybe the authenticity and the honesty of some kind of maybe primordial connection to who we are, because I know if I put on red lips and a star, I wouldn't be convincing doing that.
Mine took longer to come up with. I wanted to be someone I wasn't. You know, I grew up being a little chubby kid, not very popular, and I wanted to create a rock star. I wanted to create someone who other people are going to go, gee, I should have been nicer to him. So it took a while for me to find my way and to create this person who I wasn't. I became that person, but in the beginning, that person didn't exist. That was just a facade, as was the way I spoke on stage. It was a way to command the audience without being who I really was. How does a kid who grows up in Queens go, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
You know, it really came down to, in my heart, I knew one person should speak. And even though I've never done it, and I'm very shy at that point, I know in my heart that I can do this, and nobody else should be talking.
And I didn't want to talk because it would break the persona.
Of the demon, yeah.
Of your character.
You don't want Darth Vader to talk too much.
No.
Just,
Just breathe, yeah.
that's it.
Talking about Darth Vader and talking about Industrial Light and Magic, we are in their location here where they shoot Mandalorian, you know, and you know, which is unbelievable just to be here with this new technique and the evolution of new technology. And you have decided that you will take yourself into immortality. What do you expect from that?
As he takes a deep breath. The idea of living on and creating something that lives beyond you, it's humbling, far beyond anything we ever imagined. Look, when we started the band, the lifespan of a band, be it the Beatles or anyone up to that point, was 6 years. You'd be lucky if you had 6 years because the precedent hadn't been set for bands going on decades. I was hoping if we get 5 years out of this, not because I was minimizing it, that would have been incredible to get 5 years. 50 years. So to have you and Industrial Light and Magic have people who are planning to take this into immortality, it's beyond anything we could have hoped for. But what we hoped for was based upon what was possible. Things are possible today that were never possible before. So am I excited? You know, I'm listening to myself and going, calm down. But yeah, I'm really excited.
But you can never finish the Kiss story without discussing or saying the unsaid, which is Ace and Peter, the two original guys who started with us, were every bit as important. And you have to give kudos and recognition and respect and admiration and love to Ace and Peter for helping us start the band. Not everybody has the DNA to run a marathon and to last for 50 years. If you look at any band that's been around for half a century, and you can count them on the hand, the chances are pretty good you're not going to have original members. You can't do this technology and all that stuff without recognizing the fact that Ace and Peter helped us in ways that other people couldn't have.
We couldn't have started this without them, and we couldn't be here today with them. And for us, it was Kiss is more important than any individual member. And I'm the first to say, look, I'm damn good at what I do, but I know that there's somebody else out there who could do what I do, who could pick up the flag and run with it, who would believe in it as much as I do. Well, Tommy's been with us in the band over 20 years, and Eric's played with us off and on for close to 30. So in that way, the band can go on forever, and we're not going anywhere. We're committed to this with you.
Yeah, but no one is replacing you. No one replacing you.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about this, because they transform, thanks to but what IRM has done, you know, with the motion cap. It's you, and it's Gene, you know? So it's going to be you continue.
A lot of the process for us has been research. You know, it's not about creating something out of nothing. You guys have already built so much. So we looked at old concert footage. We looked at all of your album covers, all your poster designs.
History books.
History books.
There's so
I
much.
mean, the comic book covers are amazing.
Capturing you, your motion, every subtlety, looking at historical footage, all the concerts we have, all that with AI and with new tech, we can actually have you, I mean, everything that the characters in Kiss represent, so the fans know that it's really not invented. It's based on the true authenticity, the roots, everything that makes Kiss what it is today.
And look at your eyes,
Yeah.
you know.
I
Look,
know, I'm excited.
How
I'm so
great
thrilled.
is that? Look at your eyes, they light up.
I'm so thrilled about this.
You know, there's a synergy here that we know is right. And from the very beginning, we've never fooled ourselves. When something's not right, we haven't done it. And this is right. to work with people whose eyes light up when they talk about this project is to feel what we feel. Our eyes still light up, we never know what the next chapter is. And we need other people to write that chapter with us, and here we are.
That's why we believe, together with you, that we must continue. You must continue in the next phase of what you can do.
One of the things that struck me, I mean, if you guys remember, wasn't too long ago, you guys suited up and we did mocap with you. And you guys were performing songs for us, knowing that you guys are used to performing in front of massive crowds, tens of thousands of people. And here you guys are in a small ILM studio, and you guys still put on a good show. It was just kind of testament to, I don't know, your commitment. Like, you take everything so seriously, and you always want to do your best, it seems.
It's not a performance. It doesn't depend upon the exterior. What we do comes from inside us. So whether we're suited up or not, you put us in front of people and put guitars on us, that comes from inside us. That's organic. We're not wearing costumes. What we wear on stage enhances and helps to define who we are as characters, but in no way, shape, or form is it creating something that isn't genuine. So that's why, sure, we can go perform with dots on our faces or whatever it takes, and a cam right over here in front of us that's hitting into each other when we're playing, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What we are is internal.
To create a joyful thing that is larger than life, that it's really on to a ride. That's what we want to do. And when we had the opportunity to do it with you guys, it was like, perfect. This is what we want to do. I mean, that's what Pop House is doing. We want to push the boundaries. We're using new technology. So we put the best team together, Industrial Light and Magic, with Thierry and his, fantastic things he's done with Universal Studios, with everything from Harry Potter to the Transformers.
You can just imagine, what we can do with technology today, and then looking at the next 2 years, using AI and using real-time rendering, so you don't have to pre-render a video or a film with you guys, right? It can happen real time, so you can react to the audience. When the audience says, "I love you, Paul," you can actually tell, "I love you too." You can say that.
The idea that there can be interaction is, clearly the logical next step, but to have them react to you reacting to them takes it to a whole nother level.
There's one other element that we may have, maybe that no other band has. I remember going to see Rocky Horror Picture Show. They used to have, after the theatrical run at midnight, they would play this movie, and people would come dressed as the personalities in the film. When Pop House presents Kiss in this format, you're going to have people in the audience who are going to dress just like us, mouthing the words. Who knows, maybe somebody in the audience, I don't know.
I can't wait to see what you're creating, because for us, it's that next step of what we started, what we dreamed, what we built for 50 years, and then to see it take wing and go to the next level is like really seeing your children blossom into whatever they're going to be. And what we will do with you is will bring tears to my eyes. It's I can't wait to see it.
One of the artists at ILM whose eyes did light up when he heard the word Kiss is Aaron McBride. And he is one of the most talented kind of art directors and character designers pretty much in the industry. He's designed a lot of films. And he started immediately, just started sketching versions of you guys. And
That's what you saw in August.
yeah.
I love that.
And one of his many talents is just storytelling in a still image. And he did his research. This is, he went back, he looked at a lot of great art that you guys have developed through the years. But this kind of was a part of our inspiration once we started building these images. Terry had written this beautiful treatment for the story of how you guys, with the help of the KISS Army, which I thought was a nice touch, gain immortality by materializing in this other universe, this other world, right? And almost taking on these kind of superhero forms. Like your personas are kind of immortalized.
Are you going to keep us in suspense all this
Should
time?
we look at what we've been up to and see what you guys think?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
We want the two other band members to be at the same time to see the.
Yeah, of course. How are you? Hey, Tommy. Good to see you. Pat, such a good time. I was like joyous.
That was a. You don't mind.
Okay. You know, earlier we were talking about that the band never could have started and couldn't have existed without Peter and Ace. And, you know, we're both very, very clear that the last 20 to 30 years, the band never could have done what it's done with them or without you. So it's exciting for us to go the next step and see KISS immortalized. I mean, we've spent 50 years building it to this point, and by working with ILM and working with Pop House, we're all sharing this vision of taking KISS to a completely different level, beyond being just a music band. And we've always thought of ourselves as more than just a music band. So tell us what's going on.
The moment in time, December 2nd, where we're going to take you guys, the band KISS, and transition you from the physical KISS for your very last concert, and then take you into the digital world. So the encore of the concert will be where we take you into this new world, this new era of KISS.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Please.
Can we see it?
I would love to
Let's
show
check
you
it
guys.
out. Actually, you're gonna like the way you look.
Cool.
Here we go. You ready?
Check this out. Yeah.
Kiss Army! Your love, your power has made us immortal! The new Kiss era starts now! Oh yeah! Give rock and roll to you! Give rock and roll to you! Put it in the soul of everyone! Now listen, if you wanna be a singer or play guitar, man, you gotta sweat or you won't get far. 'Cause it's never too late to work 9 to 5. You can take a stand or you can compromise. Work real hard and just fantasize. But you don't start living till you realize. What did I tell you?
Very cool. Awesome. I'd go see those guys.